Okay, well, welcome to the first in what's going to be a very long series because we're going to drink one of the whiskeys in this vault every day. And I probably should take my sunglasses off. So, sorry about that. See that vault back there? All that beautiful goodness? That's things we're going to drink every day, one at a time. I think that'll take us almost 2 years in. So, I'm just going to pick them at random, drink some whiskey, talk about it. And today... first of all, we have to decide what the hell we're going to call this thing. I suggested drinking with Daniel. I suggested a couple other things that Rex thought were ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Because Rex is ridiculous. And so if you guys have any suggestions on what the hell we call this show, then please tell me, because otherwise I'm going to be naming it Drinking with Daniel, which is just as creative as it sounds. Today I started the day... down on 6th Street in Austin. And if you know Austin, then you know that any sentence that starts with, so I was down on 6th Street, usually ends with a really bad story. And I'm hoping today is not that day. So we started drinking whiskey and Guinness at about lunch on 6th Street because I met up with one of our whiskey sommeliers, Eric Rosentrauer, who's also a rep for Redemption Bourbons and Ryes. And it was a damn good lunch, damn good burger, and now I'm gonna shoot 2 whiskey videos, which leads me to another caveat. This is the first video full of caveats. So I'm gonna be shooting 2 or 3 of these at a time because I've got other shit to do. And if that's somehow some kind of video universe faux pas, then fuck off. I just don't care. I've got too much crap going on. I don't know what the rules are to how you shoot video or what's appropriate in this universe. I'm just going to drink whiskey and shoot videos. I'm going to knock them out 3, 4, 5 at a time, and then we'll post them every day. And there you go. So today's whiskey, I just grabbed at random off my desk downstairs, is the Irishman. Now, I'm particularly excited about the Irishman because it was one of the first whiskeys released by what is now a full-fledged distillery, which is the Walsh Distillery. And Bernard Walsh was the founder, and he was having the Bushmills Distillery create his whiskeys according to specifications and then aging them, and then he was bottling and selling them. So it's very, very similar to MGP in the United States, which, if you don't know this, is in Indiana and is responsible for like half of the bourbon in the United States is being made at MGP and then aged elsewhere, or made at MGP, aged and then mixed together and sold elsewhere as someone else's whiskey. Nothing wrong with that. Someday I'll give you a talk about why I think there's nothing wrong with that. But that's cool because Ireland is doing a very similar thing, and I just realized we're blocking that thing there. So this is a single malt Irish whiskey, pot still, pure barley, kind of a rare thing, and kind of excited about it. This is a distillery I love. It's hard to say bad things about it. Now, I got into whiskey through Irish whiskey first, and then fell in love with Scotch. Irish whiskey, because of that percentage of unmalted barley, like I said before, always has notes of that sort of butter biscuit kind of vibe, and I love that. To me, Irish whiskey is just, hey, let's be friends, but not in a dangerous way. It's not like those tiger drinks I mentioned last time. Yeah, that's just good. Now keep in mind your Irish whiskeys. Most Irish whiskey these days is using column stills and grain mixes. Not a lot of pure pot still Irish whiskey, and not a lot of single malt Irish whiskeys. That wasn't always the case. Ireland has a rich history of pure pot still whiskey. And as a matter of fact, when the first version of the column still was invented, it was an A.S. Coffey. And when he presented it to Ireland, they told him to fuck off because that's not how they do whiskey. So he took it to Scotland and made a crap load of money for Scottish whiskey. And then the Irish adopted it and said, okay, fine, we can call that whiskey. And so most of the things that people think of as Irish whiskey who are not normal whiskey drinkers, you know, Jameson, Bushmills, Powers, the kind of, hey, let's do shots on St. Pat's Day kind of whiskeys, which shouldn't be because they're great in their own right. Those were usually blended and grain whiskeys and column still. So finding a good single malt pot still Irish whiskey, that's a damn fine thing. And the Walsh Distillery just opened recently. They're officially their own distillery, so they're now starting to make their own stuff. And we've got, what I'm going to be doing is working through one distillery video, each video. I don't think I'm going to mix it up, although I may change my mind on that later. But right now, tomorrow we'll go into another one from the Irishman, or from Walsh, which is the Irishman Founders Reserve. So for today, an Irish single malt. Cheers to you, and we'll see you tomorrow.